Hey everyone, Ann here. Okay, we're going to talk about our next mask, which is going to be the mask of the people pleaser. And this one is interesting because from the outside looking in, it looks pretty good. It looks like somebody is very nice. They're always doing things for other people. They've got a good and kind heart, and they're just really, really loved, these people. But actually, the people pleasers, the way this can show up, it can look selfless, but in reality, it's actually a bit selfish, in that the people pleaser is doing things in order to solicit a behavior or being liked from another individual. So that's where we cross the line from someone just doing nice things for people, which of course we should be doing, to when we're getting our value, or when the people pleaser is getting their value from the reactions of other people, that's when the line is crossed. Also, with people pleasers, it will look like someone that has a very difficult time saying no, someone who makes excuses for other people's behavior. They're looking for the good in that person to the extent that they make excuses for them. They are hyper vigilant about perceived rejection from other people. They do not want criticism or rejection. Now, the reason I could talk so clearly about a lot of these things with the people pleasers, I've spent a lot of my life myself being a people pleaser. It's also known as a codependent. And I still to this day have to be very intentional and watch myself with people pleasing. Also, what it'll show up for people pleasers, they will suffer at the expense of doing things and doing favors for others. Again, it can look really, they're so selfless and they're always doing for people. But it's when that line gets crossed, and basically it's getting, again, all these get tied back to getting self-worth and identity, from the masks that we wear. And that's really when the line gets crossed. We can become emotionally dependent on certain friendships, even when we know that they're not good for us. Can anyone relate to some of these things? A people pleaser gets addicted to approval from others. They want to be liked no matter what. People pleasers will act based on what other people think of you, and so they often can appear to be kind of a chameleon, because whatever situation they're in, they're going to adapt, not necessarily because they want to, but because they want to fit in. They want to please those people that are around them. And the last thing that I'll just say about this is, people pleasers will typically want to take responsibility and be responsible for the feelings of that other person. And what people pleasers need to, and I'm talking to myself here, what people pleasers really need to be hypersensitive to is, we are not responsible for other people, their feelings or their actions. We're responsible for us. And this is where, learning how to set healthy boundaries. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with setting healthy boundaries and things like that. But the people pleaser typically does not have boundaries. So that's really, in a nutshell, what the mask of people pleasing looks like. And so it can be a little insidious in that it looks so good from the outside, but it feels so rotten for the people pleaser on the inside, because they will sacrifice just about anything to get that approval from another individual. And again, it's getting self-worth and value and identity from other human beings, which it's always going to lead to disappointment. So anyway, that is the mask of the people pleaser.